is we have to be equipped with, and knowing all of the things that are up against some of the, these homes. And as you guys know, as you're a home seller, you need to be aware that the insurance companies here in Central Florida, Tanya, they are at another level. I mean, they are really coming down on these sellers for these roofs. I mean, the roof getting insurance today is like pulling teeth if you don't have a new roof. I mean, it's crazy.
Right. So as you know, when you're negotiating, you're talking about, what are the seller concessions and things that are going on. The very first thing that everyone wants to know is in the description and the MLS and everywhere, what is the age of the roof, right?
Yeah,
Because
no,
obviously
it's
some of
like
the main
crazy, and people just, yeah,
exactly.
no, it's really tough out here. But a lot of, what makes it really harder is the insurance companies and these premiums. I'm surprised that the government has gotten involved.
Right, the premiums are going up, but the major players have made some moves. So, we used to be able to look at the roof and you say, okay, 5 years of life expectancy left on the roof. Now that some of them are moving to 3 years left on the roof, and really, it comes down to, the hurricanes and the catastrophic things that occur. If you don't do your claims when those things happen, now you're going back saying, hey, I think I got damaged from the last time we had a seasonal hurricane, or the last time some winds were heavy and you didn't bother to do your claims at that time. And now you're finding they're denying it, saying, hey, we haven't had anything happening right now. This is an old situation. We're not going to cover it. So the sellers are having to look at out of pocket expenses.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm in a real life situation myself at my own home where I actually had roof damage, and they came out and they said, "Oh yeah, this is what it will cost." But they're not looking at that cost. They only look at the cost of where it and minus the age of the roof. And then they're
Correct.
offering these insurance companies, they're offering me peanuts to say, "Hey, look, yeah, I know you need this repaired, but we're only willing to give you like 10 to 15% of what that cost is." So it's like,
Right, and the roof is actually $20,000 in some cases, $25,000 depending on the size of the home. So it definitely is a major expense. But hey, I've seen people backing out of deals when the inspection reports come back and they say, hey, your 4-point inspections and all the different things you need, and they're saying, hey, this deal is not going to happen. You guys aren't willing to meet us halfway on getting a new roof. We're not going to move into our home, and within 30 to 60 days we have to purchase a brand new roof because we can't
yeah,
get insurance. So this is a real thing happening in Central Florida.
no, it's really a real scenario, and it's also really what these appraisers are doing too,
Mm-hmm.
because your roof is old. There, it's affecting the values, which
Right.
technically, you know, I'm not a roofer, but at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, these roofers, they're really overcharging for these roofs. They really are. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, supply and demand,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Let's
I
look
get
at
it.
that. Let's look at supply and demand. We still have some challenges, even post COVID. Everyone's still trying to get back on track with all of these supplies, Neil. Some people are still having some problems, builders getting in
I know.
material. And so the ones that do have everything in stock,
Yeah,
they're
but hold on.
charging the
Time out
premium.
for a
Look,
second. Time out for a second.
right.
They say that the material isn't here, but when I go to Home Depot, it
You
is
got
full.
tons of it.
Right. I don't understand. It's full. I mean, they don't. I get it. When COVID hit, I mean, yeah, I understand. I mean, everybody was out of supplies, and was
Right.
getting things here and what have you. So I totally understand that component. But now everything is really fully loaded, fully restocked, and the prices are the same thing.
Well, Florida homeowners, obviously, we're facing, the rising insurance premiums. We have different factors right now. So you're looking at catastrophic claims, you're looking at insurance fraud, you're looking at litigation costs, looking at
And
reassurance
it's hurting our
inflation, and
values.
right, and the Florida Hurricane Catastrophic Fund. I mean, property insurers have requested and received approvals, from state regulators for more than
Yep.
20%. So if you're looking at that from what 2021 to 2022, the average annual premium in Florida was well over well over $2,000. I think it was $2,000, and it's increased more than 3 times that amount since everyone else in the country. Right,
From
Florida's
listen, from
up
what I can see,
3 times more than all the other
oh,
country,
there you
all the
go.
other areas in the country since 2016. So we're looking at the average cost of premiums right now in Florida around 35.85, $3,585. Which is
Almost three
two
times that
thousand
amount.
over 2,000, right? But it's over $2,000 more than the national average. So we love our Florida Floridians. We love our Florida cities, but you're going to pay to play here, right? But
Yeah,
you need those
now.
things in place to make sure that if you do live in an area that is prone to, hurricanes or tornadoes or floods and things like that, you want to have that coverage. So you take that amount, you know, um, all the rest of the year is great, but you got to make sure you have that. And to your point, Neil, a lot of these home improvement type stores, they're selling people roof rejuvenator. Have you seen that
No,
happening?
I haven't
And
seen
they're
it,
saying,
but
"Oh, this has extended the life of the warranty of the roof," trying to get out of a roof replacement. Well, guess what, guys? A tar-based roof rejuvenator or coal tar roof rejuvenator is not a new roof.
no, it's not. And the other part that's so disheartening is that these roofers that if you go to Home Depot and just at Home Depot pricing, if you go there and you order, they order it by the square foot or the by the square. So when you order that material and you see exactly what the actual material costs, because Home Depot will give it to you. They'll give you what the cost is,
Right, right,
from your nails to the paper to the actual shingles, or even if it's tile roof, whatever your
right,
cost is, it is a third less than what's on the market price. Why are these
right.
prices?
I mean,
They're price gouging.
right, but you know what? This is inflation. Everything is high. We talk about beef and food and everything else is still it's still rising. Inflation is still there. People still
I
have
get it,
concerns
but
and
does
trying to
that
cut
make it
corners.
right though?
It doesn't make it right.
Oh.
It doesn't make it right, but they're out to make whatever coins they can. I mean, we have to consider those things. And I thought it was something people were calling and talking about. So I said, hey, let's bring it up on the show because
I
the
no, it's a
insurance
real
rates are
problem.
higher.
It's a real
Yeah,
problem.
but the cost of your home is still going to be lower than other places, in the nation. So you got higher insurance, but your home is still at a great rate. So you can pick your poison, right?
Right, no, that's true. But it also has been, I was also in a real live situation where the seller law had to reduce their home right now. Actually, right now,
Hmm.
it's a listing that I have. I'm going to promote it later in the show, and they had to reduce their price by $20,000. Why? Because
Oh,
their
wow.
roof is old. And guess
Hmm.
what? It ain't even really that old. It's like 15 years old. And they're like,
Right,
well, this is going to be the deduction. That's $25,000. And there's no
yeah,
leaks.
well,
There's nothing wrong with his roof. But the insurance company is saying that the roof is
but as a buyer, do you want to
old.
move into a home
Nah, I
with a
get it.
roof
Nah, I
that's
get it.
already like 20 years old, man? Come on. You don't want to have to pay a down payment and then move into a house you have to repair, especially if it's an investment property, a secondary property. You definitely don't want to,
No,
you
no,
know,
I get it.
have
But
those
in
add
our
have
homes,
those added expenses.
I told you, I actually agree with you from a buyer's perspective. But from a seller's perspective, hey, look, man, I don't know if this is all fair because if there's
Right,
no leaks and my roof still has, a lot of age left on it, why am I
right,
paying? Why do I have to pay and drop another 30,000 on a price that should be on a roof? Let me just back up. The price should be
right,
probably half of that. So if the price is half of
right.
that, why do I have to get paid double, triple for the exact same roof? I don't know. I'm just struggling with this whole roof and
Look,
insurance
you don't
thing.
have to get anything fancy. You just got to have the basics.
I
Get
get
a
it.
new roof. Get a new roof and repairing the bases. I mean, come on, we're already in the hurricane season, right? In Florida, I mean, come
Yeah,
on, it
no.
starts running in June 1st. People always wonder what's happening in Florida during hurricane season. People are nervous always. It runs to till November. But historically, our storms are pretty strong between August and October. What are your thoughts about that? Are you seeing anybody relocating, thinking, "Oh my God, it's hurricane
No,
season. What are we doing
listen. You
now?"
know what? Here's what I say. When you go to the Northeast and you're looking in the winter months, I mean, you're going
Right.
through blizzard conditions. You're looking at 10 inches, 5 inches of snow. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, our hurricanes sometimes are really bad, but if you look
Right.
at it on an average, I mean, we're probably a bad storm every 5 years, 6 years. I mean,
Right.
somewhere
A
in that
major
range, a
one, right?
major
Yeah.
one. No, no, we do.
Right.
We get some, but we get bad rain every single day here in Florida. I
Right.
mean, let's keep it 100.
We get our tropical storms that come through, and some of the tropical storms, in the hurricanes, they can affect the state. But I mean, all in all, anybody who's looking to relocate, I'm Florida's #1 relocation realtor. We can get you here, get you in a home. Not all areas are full of flood zones and full of, the hurricane prone areas, right? So there's certain cities that get hit pretty much all the time. But in Central Florida, we do have an option. So if you need to reach me, you need assistance with understanding our hurricanes, understanding flood zone insurance, I'm Tonya Rivers. I can be reached at 407-837-1247.
All right, girl. We're going to talk more. We'll find out some more about Neal, like how to get a hold of him, because I'm sure he'll drop that a few times.
Absolutely.
You're listening to What's Your Next Move on News Radio WFLA Orlando. Are we clear?
Oh yeah, we're clear. But that's a real scenario that I'm really in the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
of
Ooh.
right now.
Ooh. I like that.
Right.
And it really is like a $20,000 deduction. It's crazy.
Oof.
$25,000 deduction, which is totally unfair. But
Mm-hmm.
but what do you do? I mean,
Nothing.
no.
Look, get educated on it.
Yeah, no,
Get,
that's true.
get educated.
Tonya, can you tip your laptop down so we can see some of your, there we go. Oh, that looks better. And if you can reach up there, Neal, and line your camera up a little better so you're in the middle, can you? Now, the camera's on the stand. There we go, Bubba. Yeah. All right. That's going to look
There we
good.
go.
Let's get it
Are we
on.
videotaping this?
Yeah, it's going out right now on the internet. Hope you don't mind.
There we go.
Hope you don't mind.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, stand by. More funk party coming your way. I know, right? All right. Tape is rolling.
Current caretaker and owner. We did not know.
Welcome back. Time now for What's Your Next Move? We've been here for about, 10, 15 minutes, so let me start that over. Sorry, guys. Why are we funking? All right. I know, right? We got the funk. Okay.
Gotta have that fun.
I know, right? Where is it? Where is it? Welcome back. It's What's Your Next Move? We do this for you Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, right here on News Radio WFLA Orlando. And our host, Tonya Rivers and Neal Lovell. Let's send it to the studios now. Take it away, kids.
So hey, so we were just talking about what these insurance companies are doing to these sellers. Is really helping the buyers out at this point in the market, because it is a great investment. I mean, listen, real estate is your best investment. The time is now, ladies and gentlemen, to make your next move. This is it. But and finding real deals out there today, Tonya, is really a difficult. It's difficult to find real transactions and real good deals that's out there. But I do have one. And it's 4816 Edenview Avenue, and this is in a real corner of Maitland and Lockhart, so it's in a real good location. And remember, I was just telling you guys, this is the same home that's really worth, I think, about $325, but the roof is about 15 years old, and we're stuck by putting the property on the market for $300,000. Why? Because when you compete with the homes that are in the community that just did their roof, they're at 320, 319, 325. So
Right,
I
you
mean,
have to do it.
right, but what I'm saying is just unfair to these sellers. It is, but look, I get it. This is what the market bears now. 2 months ago or 8 months ago, when the market was the other way around, I mean, this is the same home that would have sold for 340.
Well, are you starting to see, Neal, that, the market, people talk about whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market in certain cities in Florida. But the truth of the matter is, I think it's, I like to say it's both markets, right? It's what you're looking for and what you're willing to look for. The interest rates are still going to drive people, right?
Yep.
So if you're scared about the interest rate and you think they're high right now, again, you go back, 10 years or so or whatever, and you're paying 9%, 10%. If you feel as
More
though
like
the
20.
interest rates are high, you're not going to buy anyway. I mean, you're not going to buy. So you could say, well, it's a seller's market, it's a buyer's market. But the truth be told is, inflation is inflation, interests are in interest rates, and what is the condition of your home? That's really going to drive people. If you're competitive in your price and you have a new roof or a newer roof and you have newer HVAC, right? You're going to be competitive.
Right. No, that's true. No, that's definitely true. But look, let's face the reality, right? That there are people that are coming in from all different parts of the country, and they see what our value is here in Central Florida. Our homes are still, our price points are still on a vertical rise. The market has not slowed down here at all. I mean, we have kind of leveled down. I mean, it's not. But there's still properties that if it's priced aggressively, there's still
For sure,
multiple
it's
offers.
inventory. It's inventory.
Yeah, inventory is still down here. So, I mean, look, our real estate is our best investment, period, for America. No matter what
Right.
the market is, If you can afford to buy, it is better than paying rent. So if you're out there and you're listening to me and Tanya, make your next move by buying a property that you can afford. It's either buy, and now is the time also for those that bought 4 years ago, 5 years ago, take that money, roll it over. There's still a lot of good properties out there that you can actually purchase. There are a lot of good opportunities out there, but people just, they're nervous, they're scared. But they just don't have the information that we have, Tanya. So you can always reach out to us. I can be reached at neillovell.com or my cell phone, 407-466-1529. Again, 407-466-1529. And look, I mean, you guys can reach out to me. I'm obtainable. I'm reachable. I'm going to answer your questions, help you solve your issues, because you guys know, as you don't know, my real model is death, debt, and divorce. So if you guys are all out there that are experiencing any of those things, I'm really your bridge to help you get over those things. So
Right, and like that property you just talked about in Maitland. Come on, I mean, at 325, even 300,000, you cannot live in the northeastern part of the world and pay $300,000 for a 3 bedroom or 4 bedroom home.
it's a
Right
4-2.
there on the outskirts of the city, you
Nah,
can
it's
get to
true.
Disney in an hour. This place, beaches in an hour. Like it's a perfect location as a primary or secondary resident for $300,000. You just can't beat that.
And with $300,000 for a lot that's probably 40 by 150. I mean, you can't find that nowhere in New York. I mean, if you go to New York, definitely you're paying a million and better for that. In Queens,
Right,
Queens or in Brooklyn in New York, you're spending easily 850 to 1.5 for that. I mean,
right.
so coming here for 300,000 for that sort of a lot size, oh man, these people are eating it up. How fast can I pay for it? So I
Yeah.
anticipate that home selling overnight as soon as I put it on the market.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
crazy.
And Florida made the top five again
Oh yeah,
for the hottest cities. I mean, let's look at it. I mean, one of the major places that people are moving is Sarasota still. Sarasota is still in the top spot. Sarasota still has, their distinct vibes and everything. When, the art scene is there, they have a good atmosphere. I mean, you have people relocating to Sarasota. They're looking for, an off trade, I guess, from the noise of Tampa, but Tampa's still on the list. Naples is still on the list. Tampa's like number three, Tampa and Hyde Park, right? They're doing renovations out there in Hyde Park. Tampa's still one of the best places to live in Florida. And all around the world, people are seeing that. They're like, hey, Tampa's got the beaches. They've got nice
oh
water.
yeah.
Obviously, you pay. We have our flood insurance and things like that are requirements.
There
But
goes that
come on, you have
insurance hot topic again.
yeah, well, Hyde Park neighborhood is still, it's still great. I mean, it's in Hillsborough County, so you're just looking at different options too. Orlando is still on the list as far as a
See, well, I'm
relocation place
Orlando
for folks.
bound, and I still believe that this is the
Yep,
best place in the country to raise a
right,
family in
right,
Orlando. And as far as
right.
activities for kids, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
this you can't get any better than Orlando. So for me, I had a great experience raising my two girls here
Right,
in Orlando, and they were active, and we had a great time. And the things that they
right.
could do compared to anywhere else in the country, I mean, I don't know. I'm sold here in Orlando.
Right, and that's Central Florida, but you also have to consider the Western Florida, Florida cities. I mean, too,
No,
Pensacola is
absolutely.
still on there. People are still Pensacola is still considered like the third best, I think, retirement place or something like that. In warm climates to move to. I mean, it's still desirable for all ages. I mean, beautiful area, museums. I mean, come on, you're gonna get your rain, but Pensacola is still making the list. So, Florida lifestyle, people are still paying for. You can still get good properties and good deals if you know who to call and where to look.
And listen, you call Neal Lovell or Tanya Rivers, so you call Neal at 407 four six
Right.
six 1529. And Tanya, how can they reach you?
Absolutely. I'm 407-837-1247. And we can definitely help you relocate, find out what's going on, the best places to live, the best cities outside, because a lot of people only know about the major cities, Neil. They
No,
don't
that's
know about the
true.
Apopkas of the world and the Dealings of the world, the Maitlands of the world. You only hear about the major cities, but
But
you can
listen,
still get deals on the outskirts.
no, I agree. But at the end of the day, it's all about value, right? So when you think
Hmm.
about what the values that are growing here in Orlando, it's
Right.
central part of Orlando is growing the furthest, fastest,
Hmm.
and on the
Right.
outskirts, just like everywhere else in the country, every major city,
Right.
no matter which way you twist it or turn it, every major city here in the country is still growing. You look
Oh
in
yeah, absolutely.
from New York all the way down, it is still values are still growing. But here in Central Florida, these roofs is killing us, but the values are still growing. So when you look at that, you look at towards investing. And I'll
Right.
tell you this too, Tanya. Another real crave here in Central Florida has been multifamily.
Oh,
Any
absolutely.
multifamily is a investments period.
Hmm.
Investing period in real estate is still your safest investment. There is no other to me.
People are still look. Yeah, no, you're right. They're still looking at multi-generational homes. They're bringing not only just the in-law suites. People, oh, I got the mother-in-law suite or the father-in-law suite. People are bringing their kids, and the kids are bringing. They're getting married, and they're bringing their kids back home. So you're literally finding like three generations still living in the house. You have the mother and the father, the grandparents, and you have like the 25-year-old that's newlywed, and they have converted, or they're living in a multi-generation where they have like a separate garage that they've renovated and they've turned that into an apartment, and you're seeing everyone still reside in the same areas. You're seeing that in a lot of counties. You're seeing that in Polk
Oh,
County.
This is
oh,
get your next move. What's your next move?
oh, Tonya was on a roll. We'll continue in just a minute. What's your next move?
What's your next move?
You were zooming. Loved it. Loved it. All right, let me just. Okay, just give me a sec. You know how it goes. Sounding good. You doing all right, Tonya? Hey, what? Hey, you? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I turned
Okay, there we go.
shit off. Sorry.
Just wanted to turn me off, Melissa. I get it.
No, it's just one of those things, you know.
I get it.
All right.
All right, seg number 3. All right, let's see what we got here. Stupid thing.
So we can go actually into investments and overextending credit repair, some credit score programs, new construction too as well, because those are the things that people want here in Central Florida either way. So,
Sounds good.
and college students, that's really where you need to, because those college student programs are like crazy. I guess because I got a graduating senior coming up, I'm looking myself, not coming back home.
Welcome back. It's What's Your Next Move? What is your next move? Tuesdays, 6 p.m. until 7, we talk about Central Florida, how to get into a house, how to get out of a house, and a lot more that has to do with you having a happy home. Right now, let's go back to the studios. Tonya Rippers and Neal Lovell.
As I say, Tyler, listen, man, maybe it's me because I have a graduating senior coming out this year, and I'm telling my own daughter, listen, this is how you're going to buy your next house. And there's so many good programs for those that are coming out. But guess what? It really, some of these, the millennials and these younger crowd, this younger generation, they don't mind living with other people. It's not like how it was in the past where we want our own home. We just don't want to share housing. But today it's really, prevalent that people are sharing. Shared housing is like, because number one, the housing prices are so high. So because they're so high, people have to just do what they have to do. And I'm saying,
Well, rent's high.
oh,
Rent's
rent
high.
and
So,
oh my
I mean, come
gosh,
on.
rent is high.
College students, you can get out before, hey, I'll get an apartment. I get my first job. Now it's like, whoa, my first job has to pay, 6 figures in order for me to pay $3,000 for rent. So it's either move back home with dad and mom,
No,
or you're gonna have,
no. It's
or you're
not move
gonna
back
have
home.
8 roommates.
Well, listen, you're not
8
moving.
roommates.
You're not moving back at home. So here's what you're gonna do. And there are programs where you can do first-time home buyer. You can use your new job as a college student coming out. You use your degree and your new job, and now you qualify. So
Right.
parents that's out there, believe me, when all of these graduating seniors that are coming home, you really want to start looking at some multifamily, some duplexes, because Those are areas that are still affordable pricing. I mean, what's affordable today, but at the same
Right.
time, it offers an opportunity for a college student that's coming home that they can now actually buy their first time home and afford it. Tanya,
Right, because
it's a
there's so
lot.
many programs outside. Right, so you've got FHA and things like that, but you have to realize there's other first-time homebuyer programs out there. You have the Florida Assist program. A
Yeah,
lot of people don't know about that. That program offers you up to $10,000 in down payment assistance. That it can be applied, to your loans. With the FHA or veteran, if you just got out of the service, and you kind of did 4 or 5 years, and you didn't want to make it a long-term thing in serving your country. You got the Florida Home Ownership Loan Program, the FLHLP, the Second Mortgage Program, the Housing Finance Aid. There's so much, Neil, that we
so
have, and
why
we
don't
are there
people
to help
just,
you.
right? So we're
Yeah,
here. So tell them, how do we get in touch with you again, Tanya?
absolutely. If you're a hometown hero, housing program, state housing initiatives, you need grants, I can help you with that. Neil and I can help you. I can be reached at 407-837-1247. And don't think you have to come up with 20% or 10%. There
No,
are
you
many
don't.
programs, even with USDA loans. You can find USDA properties
It's
where we can get
100%.
you 100% financing.
Yeah.
So do not be afraid to reach out. Don't be prideful, guys. These programs are here to help. That's why the grants and the money keeps building and building and building because no one's using it.
No, listen,
We need
that's
to be able
true.
to use this funding. It's money there to help get in a home, guys. Come on.
No, it's really true. But credit is a real issue. So if you have,
Mhm.
the stronger your credit score is the stronger you can, access a lot of these programs. And look, let's
Right?
face it, you have 680 credit. You can do a regular conventional 3% to five
Hmm.
percent down, or no, 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 no. Let me back up. You have 680 credit. You could do 100% financing that's out there. I mean, it's crazy.
Right?
So I think they actually brought it down to 680. I think there was a bank that was doing it. But if you got 720, it's guaranteed you can get 100%
Right.
financing out there.
Yeah,
So
six
it's
eighty. But
crazy.
remember the state housing initiative partnerships. They call it SHIP for short or whatever. The
Mm-hmm.
SHIP program provides funds to local governments as well for low to moderate homes. I mean income earners.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still do that. Broward County. In Broward County, you can receive like up to $40,000 on your deferred second mortgage. Fort Lauderdale, same thing. It isn't available in all of the areas, but definitely they offer up to $75,000, and the loan has to be repaid within 15 years. But come on, there's maximum income levels there determining, the eligibility. And then here in Orlando, Orlando and Central Florida, they also have an income-based program for eligibility where you can qualify for a fixed rate mortgage. Before applying, you go through the specific requirements. So we cannot be afraid to look into all of these programs because all of them are not necessarily based on income. Um, there's grants in Miami-Dade. There's grants in Pensacola. I mean, that's what we do, Neil. I think you and I, we pride ourselves in digging in deep and
Yeah.
finding all the
Nah, trying
grants
to
and
find your
programs
next move.
that everyone can use, and we use our resources. And that's why people love working with us because we're like, hey, you don't have to sit around and rent for 10 years until you can save $100,000.
No, that's true, and there are programs that's out there, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
give you the ability to purchase. I mean, and the
Correct.
market's out there for it. People just don't really want to, and they're really still real good opportunities that are affordable. But you just have to make sure that you really qualify. Number one,
Right.
go get pre-qualified. Call us. We have lenders that we can actually help you get pre-qualified with.
Right.
And then once you find the money, finding the property and matching it that helps you fit in the box, it will help. It'll help you. If you have the money, you can then go shopping. So, again, call. And listen, it is real, right? So
No, it's super
or
exciting.
call me or Tanya. I can be reached at 407-466-1529. Again, 407-466-1529. That's Neal Lovell or neillovell.com. Call us. We're going to help you. We're going to lead you into the right program and that you're going to be able to see what you can actually afford. And then you can make a quality decision.
Right, because like you said, if you're looking at long-term wealth building, if you're slower to get into the table and buying a home, if you get a duplex or a triplex, like we talked about, if you spend that same $480,000, you live in one side of the unit, the two bedrooms, then your
What's wrong
your
with
next
that?
generation lives in the middle, and then you rent the third one out. So that third person that's living in your triplex is paying for your mortgage. Then you're creating generational wealth right there. No, it's not a five-bedroom, four-bath house with a pool in the back. But guess what? If you're just getting to the table and you're just starting to invest, when your kids move out or the next generation move out, then you have two places that you can rent out. You're living in one side. I mean, you got to look at the value that you're creating for your family and how to stretch your dollar.
No,
You can
no,
still own a home, stretch your dollar.
no.
Go to
That's
the community pool and visit. Go to the public pool and visit. Half the people that own a pool don't even swim in it.
that is true. No, that is
I can't even
really
tell
true.
you how much maintenance that goes into the pool, and I can't tell you the last time that I've been in the pool.
No, that is really
Just
true.
cleaning
That
the pool, cleaning the pool, and working the pool.
clean the pool, you pay for the pool guy, but you never use the pool.
You never use the pool, so people are like, "Oh, I just want to move to Florida and get a pool." So, I mean, look at what your options are, guys.
No, listen, there's some real value there, is what you're saying, Tanya. But like you
Yes,
said, there are people that when they come here, they overextend. Why? Because it looks so great for the price point, but also too, you got to look at what the market bears, job opportunities here, and our jobs are not New York jobs here in
no, they're
Central
not.
Florida, right? So you
No.
do have to be mindful of what you're going to be paying, but a lot of times you find a lot of people that are coming down here, they're paying cash. They're paying cash
Hmm.
for these houses. Why? Because they're selling for so much money in the Northeast and they're coming down here. So again, there's special opportunities out here. There are affordable properties out here. We just have to, you got to call me or Tanya, and we're gonna lead you. And we normally have some ourselves that we're always selling. And if you're actually looking to sell, or you're in a situation that need to sell or sell quickly, call us. I mean, I'm not, my
Right.
real model is that when there's death in the family, or there's a divorce in the family, or there's bankruptcy, you've overextended yourself. Call us. I mean, call me. That's my real go-to, and that's my real model. But at the end of the day, because Tanya, look, we both know in real life we've all been through some things. I've been through some things, so I know. I'm not ashamed of my story, but
Right.
I've come out on the other side, and I do know that there's some real help there and real value that we can do. And on top of that, our homes here are our best investment. So the time is
Oh,
now.
absolutely.
I'm a firm believer in this is the right time to do it, but we just can't. We got to educate people on how so
Right.
that they don't overextend themselves.
Things like taxes. When you inherit a home, you go through a bankruptcy or things like that, tax issues, you have to
Yeah.
get those things cleared out. Someone passes away, you have probate. There's so much to consider, but you need professionals, you need experts that work in these areas, not someone that just has a real estate license, but someone who, it takes pride in really helping people.
Nah, and that's what we do, and those are the differences that we're going to bring to the table. So those are our real niche areas, ladies and gentlemen, and these are the things that we're going to help you, make it seem seamless and make it seem real easy for you. But look, call us, Neal Lovell, 407-466-1529. It's Neal Lovell, 407-466-1529. Tanya, give me your information.
407-837-1247. Take it away, Melissa.
Yep, time to take it away for just a moment or so. We'll be right back. Stay right there. What's your next move? That were pretty good. Let me
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
tighten this up so I don't have to do it later. There it is.
And the demand, we should talk about the demand. The demand is still a real strong demand here in Central Florida. I mean, people are still pouring, what is it, 1,000 people per day? I don't remember.
Okay, so not just 1,000 people per day. We are still in multiple offer situations.
Yeah, the prices, if the price is right, that's something that we really need to get out there so that people don't
Hmm.
get caught in that situation. And like we're saying, you may have to go to the outskirts, so
Hmm.
Um, but the values are still there. That's the crazy part. So
Right.
value is like a real hot scenario right now. Value is there, but if you price it right, you may get a little even bit more than what you expected.
Right.
So I think we should definitely cover that part on this show, and then come back, because I definitely think there are some people that are out there that are struggling, that are overextended, and I can also touch on that little part for next week.
It's good. Yeah, this is the fourth and last for this hour. I don't know. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth. Okie dokie. Yeah, when you have the music, if you have a clock in front of you, About 30 seconds, and then it's all kapooey from there.
Got you covered.
Mm-hmm. Come on, wrap up.
Mhm.
There we go. Almost done. Finish up. See, now look what happened. Fuck it. I want to stay let them down here. Oh, sorry, social media. I'm such a dick. All right, here we go. True story. Real estate in Central Florida can be complicated. That's why this show is on the air. It's called What's Your Next Move? With Neal, Lovell, and Tonya Rivers. Let's go to the studios. Tonya, how you doing?
I'm good. Neal and I were just sitting here talking about, the real estate market as a whole and was it a still good time to buy? And even though we have a little bit more things, right? A little bit higher, flood insurance, or we have to have, a little more, pay a little bit more money, for our insurance, our roofs and things like that. People are still flocking to Florida in droves, all
Yep.
over Central Florida, South Florida, and we're still in multiple offer situations. If you are a realtor, you're a realtor and you know how to price and you know the market, your homes are not going to stay on the market forever.
Nope.
We have multiple
Nope.
offer situations where people are saying, hey, this home is priced right, it's in a great condition, and we want to buy it. So you cannot sit around and sleep on the offer long periods of time. Even a couple months ago, homes on average were 80 days on the market. We're not seeing 80 days all the way across the board. In some areas, we're seeing 30 days and it's under contract, and it's going under contract with less, concessions, and it's going under the market with multiple offers. Neal, what are you seeing in Central
No,
Florida?
so what I'm seeing is the demand. Listen, we at LPT Realty have the ability to offer real information, and one of the things that we really pride ourselves about is we give you a lot of the data, and we're going to help you see exactly what your home is worth and why. The why is because we really want to give you a good professional job,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we do. So. And obviously, I've been in the business for 28 years, which is a secret. But also, I use my experience to add a lot of value to the process because the process is, very, how can I say, it's really tedious, but at the same time too, because we have so much experience, time, we make it seem easy, but it's
Right.
because of our experiences. But no, I see that the demand is still here. Central Florida is still, on a great trajectory, and the values are still going up. No, they're not going up as much as they were going up before. A year ago, but at the same time, we're still seeing growth. And like you said, if you price the property right, like I'm going to price 4816 Edenview, that's a real good property. It's 300,000. I'm putting it on the market. So again, those are in Maitland, back of Maitland, the end of Lockhart. So I mean, it's in a real corner part of the market. And for those homes back there, that's a good price. And I'm telling you, you can still find good opportunities out there, but you got to call good realtors. So if you call Neal or call Tonya, you can call me at 407 466 1529. Again, 407 466 1529. You can call me. I'm going to give you a real value, and I'm going to
Right.
tell you exactly what your home is worth and a real good marketing strategy so that you can sell your home and get an aggressive number because the numbers are still there. So that's what I see, Tanya. I don't really see,
Right.
what they say, all the markets coming down. I see we have leveled off,
Right,
um,
it's leveled off, and the thing
but
is, the
that's it.
interest rates are going to be the interest rate. We talked about that earlier, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for a property, you're not going to go to Realtor.com, to go to Zillow.com, and all that. People just go, oh, this. That's not the end all, guys. They're their own little brokerage, and they just, you have to look at it. I mean, I shouldn't say little, but I mean, it's a major player. But I'm just saying, everybody at home that says, hey, I'm going to look for a house, and you do your quick Google search, you put in your how much money you make, your salary, and you get a so-called pre-qualification for some of the internet, banks out there. That's not real. You need a real snapshot of what's
Pre-approval.
happening in the city where you are, get a real
Mm-hmm.
qualification, a real approval, a pre-approval, so that you really understand how you can stretch your dollar. I mean, the internet is powerful, as we know, but you're going to get 1,000 different opinions by 1,000 different people, and you really need to work with a professional. I always say that you can choose any diet you want. People say, "Oh, I swear by paleo, I swear by keto, I swear by, Atkins, I swear by Jenny Craig or whatever." But the thing is, any of those things work, right, Neil?
That's
They
true.
work.
They
You
do.
have to be committed to making it work.
That's
So I
right.
say the same thing with your realtor. There's a billion real estate agents out there, right? And then there's less realtors who are bound by the National Association of Realtors. You have those folks that are working out there and grinding every day like us, who have our, boots on the ground. So you can choose any real estate agent, right? You can choose your friend, your coworker, anyone. But what is that real estate agent doing to make sure your dollar stretching, you're getting the best for your money, and you're finding the best deals out there? It's not saying, "Hey, I'm gonna text you a couple of properties. If you like them, I'll set you up some appointments, and then we'll come look at it." That's not real estate. That's
Nah,
not
that's
doing
not.
real estate.
Nah, that's
That's
not.
that's just
uh,
sending you surface level information.
That's
Neil and
correct.
I like to get down to the nitty gritty. You need to know the seller's pain points. You need to know your buyer's pain points. Schools matter, right? Districts matter. Sports matter. What's happening in the communities? Are there things being built in the area? What is traffic going to be like? If you're looking for an area that's chill, like Maitland, and you're just not trying to be around a whole, lot of movement or new highways, we're going to do our due diligence to say, hey, in 2 years, you don't regret that purchase.
Right.
If you're looking for just quiet, quiet walks in the park, and we tell you, hey, there's a Publix moving in right beside your neighborhood, it's probably not going to be something that you want. So you need a realtor that's going to really take care of your needs, and that could be anyone, but you need to work that person, build a relationship with that person, and like I said, select someone that you can have a meaningful life relationship with.
There
So
you
every
go.
time you move, every time you go through a life cycle, like death, debt, and divorce, you could have a home that you purchase from Neil. But if you go through a divorce, you can contact Neil and he can help sell that home for you. He can
Yep.
work with you if you're going through a bankruptcy. So we like to build long-term relationships as we give our white glove
Absolutely.
service, and
Absolutely.
not just sell you a house, send you on your way. We want you to think about us the whole time, because truthfully, we're going to think about you the whole time through this process, and we're going to work to get you what you really need. So I think
Tony,
that's
Tony,
that's what we're looking at.
you're absolutely right. We do definitely build long-term relationships
Hmm.
because that's what we do. We add that sort of value. You're hitting it right on the head. I mean, and we want people to really know and listen to our show. Why? Because we're going to give you what the real is. We're going to help you with your next move. We're helping you with, understanding what life is. And we know that these are real situations that happen. And we know that
Right.
everybody's situation is not perfect. There's no perfect situation out there. Everybody, listen, life is of such that you're going to run into situations. Things are going to happen. People are going to go through. People are going to go through some things. I mean, and at the end of the day, look, that's why we're here, Tanya. We're here to add value to those
Right.
people that need. But let me just say this to you too. There are a bunch of renters out there right now that I'm
Hmm.
hearing from that are really getting overwhelmed with their rents. And so you know what I've really the trend right now that I'm seeing is that there's going to be a bunch of renters that are going to be looking to buy. Why?
Hmm.
Because they're coming out of that cycle from last year that all went in. Remember, right post the boom, that now we're headed into that in July, August. Right here is when they were ending last year, when we were coming
Hmm.
out of that boom, interest rates going up. So now I think we're going to see a sudden spike with the, but again, value's going to go up a little bit because the demand for good homes is a little bit low still. Our
Well, yeah,
inventory is
but
still
Neil,
low.
but think about it. Here in Florida, come on, let's just bring this out. This show is 100%. Governor DeSantis signed that HB 1417 bill out there
Yep.
about the tenants. Some people are in an uproar because landlords can now say, hey, instead of doing 2 months security deposit, on hold, they can actually add monthly fees to your rent. So you can kind of look at that, and people are saying, hey, is this restricting the tenant or just helping out the landlord? Well, the bill was really designed, in my opinion, to say, hey, instead of you trying to save $9,000 to move in your apartment because the landlord is requiring, first and last month's rents up front, and then you need the month's rent moving in. If you're at a $2,500 place, which is the average rent, right? For a 2-bedroom
Yeah.
in Florida is $2,500. You're looking at like almost $9,000 to move into your apartment. That's as much as a down payment on a house if you're doing an FHA loan. So I know the bill is designed to
Well,
kind
that's
of help
it is.
offset those costs, but it
It's
makes your monthly amount go up. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, look, I get it. It's really because like I just said, I think we're gonna see a boom of buyers hit the marketplace because
Right.
all those that went into the to the apartments and renting last year because they were all under this dysfunction because of the market. But
Uh-oh.
look,
We're going to
call
have to
us.
talk about that next week,
There you go.
Tuesday,
Call us.
6 o'clock.
Call Neal Lovell, 407-466-1529. Neal Lovell, 407-466-1529.
Okay, Tonya.
All right.
Or you can call Tonya.
I'm good.
Call Tonya. All right. Well, everybody, I'll fix that in the next.
No stress.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Have a good one, guys.
I really have to fix that up. Neal, you know your way to get your guest? I guess he's in the lobby. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. Hendrix Pro Services.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys want me to go get him?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So I got to clean this up. Mhm. Oh boy. Okay. Jesus.
You
I got to
can
set
sit
him up a little
there
bit.
or-
Yeah, I got to get him on my headphones. Hold on. Just trying to clean up the back end of this one. Whew, that was a lot of adding to make that happen.
A lot to talk about.
Right. I should really key in your next guest. I didn't know he was coming in. So I'm going to drop a camera on him and take a couple minutes, but it's up